That's crazy. I just made it.
Good timing.
Yeah, you're all like 10 minutes, and I'm like, dude, your thing says 5.
Yeah, it did say 5. So, and I was just thinking about that. I think I need a shorter intro screen and a longer break screen. I think that's what I need. So how come I can't add? I know he's got his. Why can't I add him back in here?
Oh no, we lost Rich.
No, he's backstage. He's still connected.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I'm not sure why I can't throw his.
Maybe you can't get him back in until his camera's on, so it's not like some weird gotcha. Like, haha, you're live now.
That makes sense.
Hey,
that makes sense. Boom. That's fantastic. So let's do a round robin, and you introduce yourselves, and we'll chat a little bit, and then we'll jump back into what Nobby says. Sound good? Let's start with Rich Rogers. There you go. How's your week? What's going on? What's happening? Tell us about you.
Week's going well. I just had an interesting experience. Last night was the last virtual session of Lighthearted for my Minneapolis group. And because we're all vaccinated, and in 2 weeks we're going to meet up face to face for the first time.
Nice.
In over a year. So pretty excited about that. It was weird because we've been playing Lighthearted. We were like 5 sessions in, really cool game. And I realized I don't have character sheets. How are we gonna do this? Because we had a character keeper, and like the quick start has pre-gens. So I reached out to Kurt Potts, the designer, because he's on Discord and he's got a Discord for it. And I'm like, hey man, do you have blank character sheets? Because I can't find any. And he says, yeah, here you go.
Nice.
Checking out my Go bag and all my gaming stuff. So
yeah. You got my brain thinking about that now. As we start to do more in-person gaming, is all the materials that I haven't messed with for a year, right? All the hard materials. Everything's been virtual. So
I am going to miss character keepers. I'm going to miss ready access to like bevy of pictures to show people. Yeah. I'm going to miss my voice mod program, which I love.
That's fantastic. What about you, Jeremiah? Tell us about you. What's going on with you this week?
Jeremiah. Not much. Just kind of working. Speaking of like post-vaccine life, I've started going back into the office a couple of days a week for the first time in well over a year. So that's been oddly unusual, but oddly familiar. Like there was just something about being back in the office at my desk that just felt kind of immediately natural, which felt good. I feel like for me.
Same desk, same location.
Only with like a bunch more dust that it took me a while to wipe off.
Wow. Yeah.
Nobody's been doing anything there for a year, but yeah. All the same people. It's weird that like how much some things can change in a year, but how much some things don't really. Like once I was in the office, it didn't really feel like I'd been gone a year. It was weird.
Huh. All right. What's going on with you, Brendan? Who would be sorcerer? Brendan Brendan and I play most Wednesdays sorcerer. And it's the highlight of my Wednesday. So, Brendan, it is. I love it, man. It's fantastic. I look forward to it. So,
other than the sorcerer thing, which has been great, I binge played The Outer Worlds about 3 weeks ago. I started playing it on Friday afternoon, and I played it until like 6 the next morning, then slept for 5 hours, and woke up and played it and finished it on that Saturday. And I haven't had like an addictive, can't turn it off game in a while. My favorite thing about it is there's a major romance storyline, and it's not your character. Like my brother's replaying Mass Effect right now, and it's all about who can you have sexual relations with as part of this Mass Effect thing. And Outer Worlds is someone else. And not only that, it's someone else who seems like they're on the sexuality spectrum toward asexual. She even talks about this experience she has. I've had other sort of relationships, and I don't know how people are going to take this. And so you're either supportive of her romance of this other character or not. I thought it was great. It was
Wow.
cool.
All right.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah. That was my gaming thing. That was a good sci-fi. It's a different sci-fi RPG experience.
It's good.
Nice. I might have to pick that up. I'm getting disrespected in Apex lately. Apex Legends. I don't even know why I even tried it. I don't know what I was thinking about. I get disrespected in there, man. They don't let me live a minute. I don't know that I had a match or a game over a minute, and it's not fun. And I don't know why I keep going back. I don't understand what's happening there. So anyway, back to Saruptu, or the village of Humbaba. So Nabi listens to Magog, right? Actively, he's engaged in this conversation with you, so he's not blowing you off or anything. And when you lay out to him what you're trying to do, I think you see his body language. He kind of gives in, right? And he says, "There is a problem, right? There are abuses, right? There are offenses, but we're a small village out away from where people care about things, and we do what we have to do, right? And right now we make the payments, right? And we don't rock the boat. You would rock the boat, right? And that's good if, right, it solves the problem. But if you can't solve this thing once and for all for us, it makes it all worse. So yes, there are bandits. But before you say you can fix it, right, you should go to Luga and take a look around, and then come back and tell me, right, that yes, you can fix this."
That seems very fair. I don't think I understand what you're saying. We'll do this right, and we'll figure out what we can do.
And if you can't, I won't be mad. I won't be offended. I won't be hurt. The truth is way better than making a promise that you can't deliver on.
That town doesn't sit in the water, does it?
It does, much like this one. Not all the way across, but maybe 3/4.
Well, let me get back with my group. Thank you for your information. I appreciate your honesty and help. Have a squash. I mean, I think these are cool. I've been seeing nothing but this squash thing is a big deal to me. I don't know if they have squash here, but
no, they do not. And I think he is impressed, right? Okay. I think he knows what it is, but I think he is impressed by you giving him something of value like that.
I also pat him on the hand when he takes it and said, "My last one. I ate the others."
Nice. All right, so I'm adding Nabi of Humbaba, because we might see him again. I think you've made an impression on him. So I think we get together at the far side of Humbaba, again, following the whole tank all the way around. You just head out? Anything you want to do before you leave Humbaba?
I imagine, we kind of catch everybody up on, because Navi was a little tight-lipped about exactly what he was doing, but I'll reveal kind of what I learned from listening into conversations about that they've definitely been like paying bandits off, protection money or bribery money or whatever to leave them alone, but there's constant worry that they're going to come up short, and who knows what the bandits will do. So it might be worse than Nabi's letting on. He might be putting on a strong front, but no, I like what Magog did. Like, if we can find a way to help out these people without making the situation worse, regardless of what Helen wants from us, we don't want to make things worse for people out here. I don't want to make things worse for people out here. I should say.
Because I don't want to speak for all of you.
Yeah, Magog is worried because of that weird exchange where we sort of helped somebody and then they were very bitter about it and hostile. So he's like, if we tried to help a whole village and they didn't like how we helped them, like, I don't know.
Got to be careful.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of Nabi. He threatened to spank me.
Well, you did call him Mama, right?
Yeah, but I'm older. I can do that.
No, that's fair. That's fair. I will take it. All right.
Adder logic.
I like it. It feels like these villages are kind of spaced evenly apart, right? So you're, again, following the tank semicircle all the way around. You come up on the ruins of a village. It looks like there's a lot of damage, a lot of fire, a lot of explosive stuff. There are shells of the village buildings left. Even the platform is busted and broken in parts, and it came out maybe halfway, but maybe a little deeper than Humbaba. Totally destroyed.
Like, is it still smoking and are there bodies?
It's not still smoking. It's been this way for some time. If we're talking Earth time, maybe months, right? It's not new. But whatever happened here is done and it's over with, right?
We don't think this is the last village on our list. Like, this is just on the way to that village, or?
Yes, because the kind of the rough map Helen drew, right? You have the first village, Nar, then Humbaba, right? And it kind of spaced evenly. Well, there's a space there,
Yeah.
but the space to get to Luga is further out. And
Gotcha.
If you spaced everything evenly, there would be a village here, right?
Gotcha. So, looks like a village that wasn't. Looks like they probably stood up to these bandits and failed.
There are no obvious bodies or corpses, but I think if you dig, you'll probably find some.
Well, I don't have a shovel, so.
Right? If you go, yeah, no, I will stay with dig. I'm glad you said shovel. Yes, I'm staying with dig. If you dig, you might find some.
I mean, I don't think there's anything here for us.
No.
Just evidence that these are bad people that are preying on people.
Assuming that was how, I mean, it just looks like violence, like doors smashed in. It's not like rocks fell from the sky. It's like somebody trashed the place.
Yeah, there was a fight here. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
This place got assaulted. Yes. Because there's no sky.
Eh.
True.
Yeah, this place got assaulted. What do you want to do?
I'm sorry, did we see any people? Any corpses? Or would you see signs of?
So there are no corpses out that are obvious, right? So there are no corpses lying about and around, right? There are no people moving about and around. The whole place is vacant and abandoned. But you get the sense, if you start moving and salvaging through this stuff, you're going to find some bodies or some corpses.
Did Helen put this town on her list? So she's got this
No.
cover. Okay,
Yeah.
so this is not okay. So she
Yeah,
already knew this place was gone. Okay.
Right. Like I said, it's a hand-drawn kind of map, and there's Nar, Nar, then there's a space, and then there's Humbaba, and then there's a longer space, and it's Luga, right?
Okay.
But I think if they're evenly spaced, there's a town right here.
Was.
Or was, yes. Do we press on? You want to do something here?
I can't imagine there's anything here worth.
Yeah, it's been picked clean, and yeah, let's move on.
Tell me, how do you want to approach Luga, knowing what you know so far? All the
What
other
do we
villages,
know?
all the other villages, you just approach those villages. You want that same, just keep on going till you get to Luga?
Because we have reason to believe Luga's closer to the bandits and
Right.
might even be where they operate from, right?
Right. That is the sense, especially after this last conversation with Nabi.
Yeah. So it's just as likely that whether they buy our traveling shopping trip cover or not, they might just, rob us or demand payment or, I don't know.
And
the list. Go ahead, Adam.
Yeah. Question. I'm checking my notes and I may have missed it, but Helen mentioned get a bandit. She didn't name the bandit to us, did she? Or did she? And I'll update.
No, she did not. Yeah, she did not name the bandit.
Okay.
The bandit leader is what they want to bring back alive.
Right.
But that's for
tomorrow.
that's for tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
No, we could just
she did
show
not
up to
name
the
him.
town and be like, "You're bandits. Who's your leader? We need to talk to him or her."
We need to talk to him.
Are there any bandits here? You guys know anything about bandits? We're looking for bandits.
I will also say that if you're paying attention to the shopping list, there's something different that you picked up at Nar, right? That you picked up at Humbaba that is only made there, right? In Luga, right? That list is just basic fungi you could have gotten anywhere.
Oh,
So they're not doing anything special.
I mean, I'm okay with just marching in. I might be hesitant, but Navi didn't tell us not to go, and Helen didn't warn us beforehand. So if this is the bandit stronghold and we're going to get jumped, that seems like a bad plan on her part.
Maybe I'm just railroading you, and I want you to go there.
Of course, absolutely. Now that brings me back. This is a nostalgic game now. All right.
I mean, if we're paranoid enough, one of us hangs back so that if something does go wrong, they can run back to Helen or charge in to rescue. I don't know, but
That's a good idea. Well, I'm not going to hang back because I feel like I already made myself partially responsible for this unfolding disaster. So I feel like I'm responsible for going in.
I love that sense of honor.
we do have somebody with a long distance viewing device that might be able to just scout out the town a little bit before we even get too close.
Are you talking about my shovel?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You just look down the
Right. You just kind of.
Yeah, got that analog sight.
I'll take a gander with my monocular.
because I don't know what the light. Because I mean, like you pointed out earlier, there's no sky. I don't know what kind of ambient light there is between villages, but probably easy enough to stay far enough away that they can't see us. And
Right.
Adder can
I
get a
think,
good look at what's going on.
yeah, I think if you guys are cautious and paranoid, right, maybe you can find some nice obscure cover. You find some nice cover as you approach the town of Luga. Not that it make you look suspicious, but makes it harder for you to see, and gives Adder enough space to use his monocular to kind of get a sense of what's going on there before you roll up in the town. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Nice. So I think, does that work for you, Adder? So I think Adder sees villagers going about village chores, right? There's not a whole lot of production of things or preparedness for trading or travelers like the other two towns or the other two villages. But they're doing, day-to-day survival type stuff. There's fires being built. There's folks gathering, cleaning water, right? All regular, everyday chores. But you also see guards, and that's something you didn't see in the other two villages, right? So usually what you're seeing is at the edges, at the perimeters of the village, some high spots, right? There are folks standing guard looking around, right? Not hyper vigilant, but guards nonetheless. There are no barriers. The village it comes out maybe a little more than half into the hall. It's raised like the other villages, but it's open.
Is there any sense?
Go ahead.
I was going to ask if there's any sense of like, you said Adder could like see people kind of going about their days and working. Like, any sense that they're doing so under duress? That like they're forced labor of some sort.
I'm gonna say yes. There's some distance, right? There's some weird body language, right, between the folks going about their normal. Like they give the guards some berth, some space, right? Yeah, there's nobody being beat in the streets, right?
Yeah.
But you can tell there's something off about the interaction of the guards and the interaction of the people going about their normal routine, their daily day.
Interesting.
And that could be duress. They could be under duress.
Yeah, they could already be beaten down.
Yeah, it looks like this barge is going to be real hard to come by.
It's a big barge. I should have grabbed a picture of a barge. Because it's everything you think, except that, it sails on air.
Yeah, we don't happen to see a big barge here, do we?
No.
Okay.
What's the plan? What do you want to do?
Gosh, I don't know.
You easily see six guards out in the open, right? They're easy to spot. They're not trying to hide. You can see them.
Yeah.
I think the ones that have height advantage also have some amount of cover, right, built into wherever their guard tower kind of thing is, where the guys on the ground are three on the platform, and they kind of move around the platform. No, it's a random pattern. They're not on a patrol. They're probably moving because they're bored at the last spot that they're in.
I forget. Did you mention if they were like obviously carrying weapons or anything?
Yes, they are carrying weapons.
Okay. Yeah, I'm torn because, like, on the one hand, getting information. I mean, is distance information enough? Do we just turn back around and go all the way back around the long way and get back with Ellen, or do we say YOLO and roll in there and like play our cover as hard as possible? That hey, we're just here to buy stuff.
Why don't we watch for a bit, see if any people go in and out?
Yeah,
Not
I had the same
rush.
question a minute ago. Like, maybe if it seems like there's any outsiders going in and out of the
Yeah.
place. That's a good question.
Oh, nice. So, yeah. Thank you, Rich, because that's the exact kind of barge that I'm gonna load this up.
Oh, it was
That
Jeremiah. That was Jeremiah.
it was Jeremiah. Oh yeah, there it is. Sorry, I'm reading one name down. Yeah, that's perfect. I will load that up here in a second. So I think now, then, there's some tension here. We're going to stick around and watch and see what's happening. I think there's some risk of exposure, right?
Seems fair.
And so we can do this a couple of ways. It could be a group test, or it could simply be, can I see what I need to see before, and then decide what we're going to do and move or whatever before we're exposed or seen. Or it could just be a group kind of stealth test, hiding test. Does that make sense? That's what a barge looks like.
You are not sharing.
Oh, how about that?
There it is.
Ta-da-da! And so the torus is, like I said, it's pretty much a tunnel of air, artificial winds. And the humans have repurposed and made these barges to sail on that air current and move throughout the torus. And the torus runs the whole massive structure of Nibiru. And this is what Helen wants to get. Cool. So I think then, you tell me. I think I like. Can we get some useful information before we're seen, and do something about and move off, get away, or whatever it is we're trying to do, or just a staying hidden versus being seen test. I'm good either way. One's a group test. The other is probably Adder, since he has the monocular, making a test to see if he can see something useful.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I feel like the first one kind of makes more sense. It seems like how we've approached it is, let's see how much good information we can get without, getting spotted, basically.
And I also feel like, since Adder mentioned it earlier, this gives him time, an opportunity to buy that memory, right?
Yeah.
And this may just be an awareness action, right? We could get specific, but
well, if I'm buying a memory, then I mean, we don't even have to go to a roll, right? I could just
right.
Cool. And that will take my monocular down by 1 significance. Is I buy that memory, correct?
Yes, that is correct. Because you're going to use that monocular in your memory.
Right.
That's fantastic.
Do I add that memory to my journal, or I'm sorry, we can work through that mechanics later, but that's a thing I'll need to know is.
Yeah, it gets added to your journal for sure.
Yeah. So I think as Adder is looking through the monocular, watching the comings and goings, falling into the quiet observance of a sentry, that he fades back into the memory of when he was waiting for word to come back about his wife. And the answer comes when a young child that has same color eyes as Adder comes running back up to the village, up to the hut where he waits. And there are no words exchanged between them, but Adder can read in the child's eyes that the news is not good. And he pulls his grandchild in and lets the child cry. That's the memory, the loss of his wife.
I have a question. It's going to sound odd, but it's also kind of important. You're outside in a hut, from outside a hut.
Yes.
What time of day is it? Do you know?
And the sun, in the memory, the sun's setting. The sun is setting.
Nice.
It's Bright Town.
Yes. Yes. I like when we're on the same page. Because there's no sun in here, right?
There's no time of day in here.
Right. There's no time of day in here. So I like it. That's fantastic. I think as we fade back to the now, you see that same AI repurposed machine from the Grand Hall come out of a building. It's carrying a load of some materials, right? And it walks from that building to the tank wall of Saruptu, where they've got kind of a one-story building, and it walks into there with that material. It's got that building kind of has a garage door, a wide garage door kind of front, and so that whole section comes up as he's walking, or as it's walking toward that building. When it reaches the top and it's wide open and he walks inside, you can see a larger construction, a larger hauler type construction in there. And there's some folks in there working on it. It looks like they're doing some welding, they're doing some moving components and things around. They're repurposing it, whatever it was. You can see that through your monocular.
Everything that I see, I call out to Ormus and to Magog. I even offer off the monocular in case they want to get a view. So everything that our GM has said, you characters know straight up. Completely transparent.
What do you want to do with that?
I bet Inky's Covenant sure as hell want to know about that thing. Maybe.
I might be wrong, but I think Inky's Covenant basically they just don't like vagabonds.
Well, Rachel's a vagabond.
Yeah. I mean, I think the important information is they've repurposed an AI, which is
that's important.
Know.
What I'm saying is there ain't no way that we're going to go in there and cause trouble.
Oh, not right now. No, absolutely.
But if Inky's Covenant and Rachel's got power over Inky's Covenant like she says she does, maybe we can convince them to come in here and mess with that AI. And in the doing, we find out where the bandit leader is, snag him, and get that barge for Helen. Just a thought.
I was going to say, you look like you're thinking pretty hard, Magog. You're
I
struggling.
mean,
there. I can see it.
unless we're gonna stay around for something, there's just no way we can. There's nothing we can't do. Anything. There's too many guards, too many people. I mean, we can't do this. So, any ideas? If Adder's talking about ideas about finding somebody else to make a distraction or join the group, we're gonna need that. Unless we go back and Helen's got some grand plan.
I mean, she may have more people. I feel like at this point, like we've kind of done what she wanted us to do.
Yeah.
We've gotten information. We have a potential ally in Nabi. If we come up with a good enough plan, we might be able to make use of him or his townspeople.
Is there a building that looks particularly conspicuous that the person in charge stays here?
That would be nice, wouldn't it?
Of course.
That would be nice. No, I think yeah, there's nothing there's nothing super different than the other. All the buildings kind of look a lot the same, right? And they're scattered in height, right? But it looks like most of the tall buildings have guards on them.
Could I spend some number of influence points to say that Adder definitely saw someone like giving orders out? Like, oh yeah, that's the guy.
Oh, yes, that's what those are for. So if you spin that, we can do that. Absolutely.
Let's do that just so we know what this guy looks like. We could say we had eyes on him.
So it's your point. I don't have anything there. Run. What does Adder see? And we can call him the bandit leader. I'm totally good with that. He is there on location. He doesn't have a fancy building he's living out of, right?
Yeah. I like the idea that maybe he sees him specifically interacting with that machine with that AI, that repurposed AI. Just because that I feel like that ramps up that danger level of not only is he the bandit leader, but like it's his pet AI kind of a thing. Like he's the one in charge of it. So then there's the worry of what happens when that bandit leader is gone. What happens to that AI? What's it gonna do?
Nice.
I think he's dressed nicer. Like there's something about the way he's dressed. Like maybe he's got some kind of like jewelry or ornamentation that's, whatever kind of sharing is going on with him and his people. He gets the better cut, right? He gets first pick. So I think that makes him stand out for sure.
I like that. Let's say when that AI.
I pronounced that, but I'm always working on how I say things.
I don't even understand, man. Let's say that I said AI. Maybe that's what set her off. I don't know. Let's say that AI, as it's moving from the original building, and it's carrying that load, and it's walking over to the other building, and the door starts rolling up. You see the bandit leader. Maybe he's got a fancy hat on, and he's dressed way better than everyone else. He's coming a little further away, but he catches up to the AI, right? And AI becomes aware, and there's a conversation happening, right? And then as they get to that workshop area, and you see the other folks, he's pointing and talking, and folks are moving and jumping. The AI sets its bundle down, and he's still communicating with it, and it picks up some pieces of the bundle. Excuse me. And they both make their way over to the holder that's being constructed, and it looks like he's giving the AI instructions, and it's doing stuff, right? Does that work? Is that good?
Yeah, no, that sounds good.
That's a nice influence point spend. I like it. What's the plan, vagabonds?
I think we could just go back to Helen at this point, probably.
Yeah.
Give her the rundown.
What do you?
Sorry, we didn't get these last few items, but we're not going into that place alone.
What do you? What do you tell Nabi? Because you got to go through his village, right? Do you just hightail it on through? You don't stop.
We don't have to go in the village, like you said.
That's right. And I'm just asking the question.
Yeah. I don't know. That's Magog's contact. I feel like I don't know. What do you think?
So I don't know if he comes. Does he come up to me and what does he? He just wants to know. Did you guys see it?
No, that would be easy. And Mad J doesn't play that way. I'm asking Magog, right? What do you do, right?
I go into the. I mean, I'm okay with walking through the town. I'm not going to skulk around it so that we don't talk to them.
Right.
And so if I run into him, I mean, I'll proactively walk over to him. And I don't know if he asks something like, "So, where are you going? What do you?" I'll just put my hand on his shoulder and say, "Reinforcements."
All right. So I will make this even harder for you, right, and clearer, right?
All right.
I'm going to set the scene because this is probably where we'll leave things. We're coming up on our last hour. If you come up on Humbaba, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can walk through the town, but I've also said it's got like through passways, right? You stay in the muck and mire and you pass right through the town, right? If you all choose to pass through and not engage with Nabi, he's not going to come looking for you. He's not going to hunt you down. But I think we, as the audience at home, as you pass through and you don't actively go run him down, I think as you get to the other side and you're walking away, I think we see Nabi maybe at a higher elevation on one of the buildings, and he sees you, right? And he looks disappointed, right? And that's it, right?
Do you want me to react to that?
Well, that's if you guys just move on without actively going to go see him. If you don't want to actively go track him down,
unless Ormus and Adder are tried it. My inclination is to go back through the town, but maybe they have or like, no, we can't go back through. We're trying to be sneaky or something. I don't know.
Right? No, you can go through. So what I'm saying is, if you go through, right? Yeah. That's the same as sneaking through, right? If you're not going to go see Nabi to talk to Nabi and say, we were out there and here's what we're going to do, right? Then that scene is you guys moving through the town and Nabi watching you leave, right? And he looks disappointed. Not mad, just, I don't know why I'm disappointed, right? I tried to tell him he can't really help us.
Just like a mom.
Yep. So, in fact, I think that's the deal, right? I think that's where we are, right? I think that's what happens. We pass through the town, and Nabi's watching you leave, right? And he's like, yeah, that's what I thought, right? We will pick up in 2 weeks with this conversation with Helen and what we're going to do about these bandits. Do we just go get another job? Is this job too hard, right? We'll do that in 2 weeks. That sound good? Awesome.
Good.
Cool.
Sounds great.
Thanks everyone for showing up. You will do a quick round robin. Tell folks where they can find you on the social internets. Rich Rogers.
Easiest way to find me is on Twitter at ORKLORD, Orklord, at Orklord. There I am.
Jeremiah.
I'm on most social media under my real. There was a cat sneaking around. Like he came out of nowhere. I don't know. I didn't know he was back there. You can usually find me under my real name on Twitter. My Twitter handle is @pseudoidiot, PSEUDO idiot. I'm pretty active on Facebook and Twitter.
And Brendan.
If you go search for Brendan Howard, you will find some dude who is a college wrestler. That is not me. You'll find some guy at brenhow.com who wrote some stories. That is not me. If you find somebody who wrote stories about like stuff your cat's not supposed to eat, then you found me. That's me. If it's about cats or veterinarians, you've stumbled into my stuff.
I'm Matt J. You can find me on Twitter at MattJ0. Thanks for showing up and watching us play Nibiru. We'll see you in 2 weeks.